Welcome to Grammar with Lily. There are some negative statements and questions in this video using there is, there are, there was, there were. Does anybody want to guess how to make them? Let's begin with negative statements. There isn't a car outside. There aren't any questions. There wasn't any water. There weren't any children. What do you notice in some of the subjects? Yes, the word any. I see it's being used with questions, water, and children, but not with a car. We will talk about why in just a minute. But first, here's something special about any. We use it with negative verbs and with yes-no questions. So how do you make a yes-no question with there is? Well, how do you usually make a yes-no question? What comes first? Right, a verb. So we take there is a subject and we switch it. Is there a subject? Here are some questions. Is there a car outside? Are there any questions? Was there any water in the bathroom? Were there any children at the school? What is the pattern of these yes-no questions? They all start with a be verb, is, are, was, were, then the word there, then the subject. Good. But I see any again. What does any mean? If your teacher asks the class, are there any questions? She doesn't know how many questions there are. Do you have 0 questions? 100 questions? We use any when we don't have a number. We use it in yes-no questions with plural subjects, were there any children? And in yes-no questions with non-count subjects, was there any water? Why can't we use any with singular subjects like a car? Oh, right, a car is singular. That means one. That means we know the number. We don't need to say any. We just want to know about one. How can I make a short answer for these yes-no questions? Usually the short answer is the subject and the first verb from the question. I told you before that there is not the subject. That is true, but we use there in the short answer. It's the first word that looks like a subject, I guess. Our short answers look like this. Yes, there is. No, there aren't. Yes, there was. No, there weren't. Finally, how do we make WH questions with this grammar pattern? It works like most WH questions. Start with a WH question word and then use the question word order to complete the sentence. Where is there a car? When was there a king in France? Why are there only 2 questions? Why weren't there any children at the school? What do you notice about the use of any here? In a WH question, we really only use any if the verb is negative. There was a lot of grammar in this video. Any questions?